I guess I shouldn't have said winter wonderland, because holy crap, today feels like 10 degrees. Isn't that just fan-freaking-tastic? Well, this is I think it's a 2016 Buick Enclave. Let's see if it'll show.
I just couldn't be happier. But there is one
31 degrees in the garage. And, well, not much to it. This has, let's see here, 153,983 miles. 310 miles, 20.9 miles per gallon average. And this car's gone pretty well all over the country for how long? It's a road trip car. I couldn't tell you how many places this thing has been, so I could just tell you that they easily put on, let's put it this way, I should have done a video because it would have been rather interesting to go through them before we junked them. But in our shed we had old vehicles that need to be fixed or gotten rid of. One of that, well, there were two Buick Park Avenues, a Buick Century, you know, all late 90s, early 2000s. And I'm not joking with you. The one Buick had 470-some thousand miles. The original engine, the original transmission. Of course, it was a 3800, so it was bound to run forever. The front end was pretty much falling out of it. It was so loose. Understandably, they just drove them till the wheels fall off, pretty much literally. So, but they drove all over the country all the time. So the other Park Avenue had 370-some thousand miles. Engine ran fine, transmission blew up. All these were bought used, none of them new. Mainly, I think they were like lease cars or rental end type of cars. So they had probably 30,000 on them when they got them, maybe more, I don't know. But then the the Century, I am not sure how many miles that had on it. The odometer didn't work. It didn't even light up. So that one I was unsure, but I know I rode in that car as a kid. We'll put it that way. It was my grandpa's car. He picked me up from middle school in that car. And middle school was, well, let's see. I was in middle school, 6th grade. That's it, before I moved. So that would have been, I graduated in 14, subtract 6. So that's what, 2008, I think. So yeah, I think that's right. So 2008, so that was 12 years ago. It's been pretty well sitting in the shed since. So they're long gone. We junked them after my grandfather passed. So but I really should have done a video, but we were just like, get some space in here, let's just clean it out, get the vehicles out of here. And so we just loaded them up and hauled them out, and didn't even cut the cats off. And we were like, shit, we should cut the cats off. But I mean, those cars I rode in that one Buick that had 470-some thousand for most of my childhood. That was interesting, you know. The car stuck around that long and whatnot. So, yeah, but yeah. So, I know what Grandma likes to drive with. I don't know. So, hope y'all enjoyed a different cold start. It's not very eventful. It fires up every time, so like it should. It's a GM product. It fires up. And believe it or not, I think the only thing they've had to do to this car is the fuel pump. Either that or it was the last Buick Enclave they had. I think they had like a 2013 Buick Enclave. That one had over 270-some-thousand miles, and then it threw that dreaded timing chain code that these V6s kind of suffer from these days. 270-some-thousand miles, and the guy, they took it in to have the code read, and he goes, yeah, your timing chains are due. Haven't you guys ever done that before? No. Were we supposed to? I mean, they just drove them until the wheels fell off, so they traded that in on this one a couple of years ago, and I mean, I think this probably had maybe 30,000 on it when they got it, or maybe even less, and then I want to say this one was a lease. So, however long that lasted, but they've driven all over. I've driven with them to Texas twice, Georgia twice, or Atlanta twice, I should say. Dallas and Atlanta from Minnesota. So, once from Michigan, but they came and picked me up when I was living out in Michigan for a conference. So, yeah, lots and lots of road trips. That's all they did was drive. Grandpa was 76 when he passed away, and all he did was driving around, I shouldn't say that's all he did. Majority of what he did was drive around into a 5-state area, but then every once in a while he'd go, down south and whatever, and yeah. And then he was a computer technician, kind of IT type of thing. I don't know how to describe it. Stores would call him, or well, I should say the company he worked for would get calls from stores. Hey, we need to upgrade our computer system. So my grandpa would drive out, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wisconsin, whatever, and go fix all that stuff. And I mean, he was just everywhere all the time. And when I was living in Michigan, they'd call Grandma just to see what they were up to, and over in Iowa today or whatever. And his car's seen a lot of miles, and all they do is throw tires on it. I don't know if they've even had to do brakes yet. There's not a lot to it. It's a Buick Enclave. So, but like I said, hope you all enjoyed. Nice little tour of the Buick that's gone quite a few miles in so few years. So, thanks for watching. God bless.